AskReddit by one cheeseburger. What's the best written fictional character? Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. He's got that moral backbone and wisdom that's hard not to admire. Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. She's witty, stands up for herself and sees through the nonsense of her society. Julius Pepperwood. I live under a rock. Who's that? Jimmy and Chuck McGill, more their relationship than them singled out. I've had multiple long discussions with friends how they influenced each other's fates and who might be at fault and how, or even if it could be prevented. I still hate awards because of this show. It was so deserving. Walter White. He's such a fascinating case study in being an egomaniac. I read recently that Vince Gilligan confirmed that Gretchen and Elliot never stole any of Walter's research when their grey matter company hit it big. The show somewhat hints at this, but it's never revealed if the Schwartzes are telling the truth or not. This means that Walter has no actual reason for despising them. It's just the excuse he gives himself to rationalize the fact he walked away from a billion-dollar organization out of pride. Knowing this, it means that Walter had no reason to turn down the Schwartzes' offer to pay for his therapy. Technically, the reasoning that he didn't want to take money from those who ruined him isn't really a good justification to become a drug kingpin, but at least it's something. And he doesn't even have that. Knowing too much about a character's reasoning isn't always a good thing, but here, I think it just makes his character so much more interesting. Power doesn't corrupt, it only reveals. Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Talk about depth. He's got layers, wisdom and some serious wizardry. He told me something before my maths exam. You shall not pass. Hannibal Lecter. The books were awesome. Came here to say this lol. Vaz Montenegro. Randall Dean Clark. Best thing is we never actually meet him. Christopher Moltisanti. People seem to have the urge to give the most non-cliché names in questions like this. Ignatius J. Riley. Dracula in the Castlevania series. One of the few villains, other than Magneto, whose motivation I kind of get. I don't condone it, but I get it. Zuko. The Blue Spirit approves. Dutch Vanderlyn. Earl Hickey. King of the Hill and the Boondocks. Honestly, any of the characters from the Stormlight archive. There's so much depth to all of them. Cleopatra from Antony and Cleopatra, the baddest bitch in the history of literature. Hannah Canwald. You one cheeseburger. You're not fooling me, I know you're not real. You caught me. Personally, I'd say Reiner or Levi, AOTSNK, specifically. Of course all characters in this show are awesome, except most of the women unfortunately, but when I really think about it, Eren was a good character. Specifically at the end of season 3 and throughout season 4. Armin was the most complex in that show, no doubt. DFW's Pat Sajak. Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos. Atticus Finch and Jeeves.